Hello, my dear friends. Today I'm talking about how outer planets are working in predictive astrology. As you already know, outer planets are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They tend to belong more to the collective rather than to the individual. Particularly with transits, they take on a generational flavor. Let's see the nature of Uranus. Uranus is using in predictive work generally for its ability to make transits and receive progressions. Any person who is considered to be unconventional, independent, eccentric, the exciting person, the person who brings change, intellectual and or not committed. When it's about Uranus, it's about change, unexpected, without pattern. The desire to break patterns of responsibility, not necessarily to be free of the responsibility, but rather just to be free. The pure free. The wild card, electric, weird, fast, non-emotional. The energy of this planet is scarce. This may be welcomed or may be feared. Spontaneous change by way of a general non-emotional reaction, because the individual does not have the luxury of time between events to brood or ponder. A ship in a storm does not have time to meditate on a problem. The energy of Uranus seems to radiate out of a person when it's strongly transiting a chart. Let's see Uranus transit over Sun, personal Sun from natal chart. The sudden desire for freedom and reclassification of the self. When Uranus coming over Moon means release from personal emotions, events happening so fast that the person does not have time to emotionally react. Uranus over Mercury. Sudden ideas, changes in speech, encountering a foreign language, new books. Uranus over Venus. Changes to socializing pattern, falling in or out of love, changes in financial situations. Uranus over Mars. Haste, accidents, anger, sexual energy, passion. Uranus over Jupiter. When we have transiting Uranus conjunct transiting Jupiter, the community expresses explosive energy. On the personal level, this combination can be exciting but not too life-changing. Uranus over Saturn. Frustration, slow progress in achieving new goals, doing something which is groundbreaking. Uranus over Uranus. To have a conjunction between Uranus in transit and Uranus in natal, it means that that person has already 84 years old, because the time of Uranus to travel in a chart and to come back to the same place takes 84 years. So you need a lifetime to get it here. Uranus over Neptune. Very little manifestation of the personal level. Signifies inspiration, change for the better, a flash of enlightenment on the collective generational level. A hopeless case with no apparent solution can become resolved. Uranus over Pluto. Another generational transit that may have little effect on the individual. Uranus over North Node. Sudden encounters with groups or people that expand our world, bringing changes that redirect us on our life path. Uranus over South Node. Changing the tribal structure. An old issue can surface and be clarified. Uranus over Ascendant. Sudden changes to the personal life. Immersed drive for change and freedom. Change of name, changes to the physical body. Uranus over Descendant, A rapid change to relationship patterns, new type of style in relationships, sudden forming or breaking of a relationship, or an awakening to one's true need in relationship. Uranus over midheaven, sudden change of job or career, changes to social status for better or for worse. Uranus over Imum Coeli means changes in the family or where the person is living, changes to the physical home. Neptune is about loss, confusion, the world dissolving, boundaries disappearing, lost into the ocean, or lost in translation. You remember the movie. In predictive astrology, generally, Neptune is used for its ability to make transits and receive progressions. The contact with transit of Neptune, it's about that a sense of loss, despair, hopeless, confusion. Many people use this as a time to travel, a time to live on the surface of cultures, to escape from their own world and drift through someone else's. For others, it can be times of indecision instead of decisiveness, confusion and dreams instead of clarity and logic. This may or may not be a difficult experience, but can be a time for huge intuition, imagination, and creativity. To be able to contact different worlds, different territories, imaginative territories, more or less. Let's see how transit of Neptune over the natal chart planets are working in predictive astrology. Neptune over Sun, confusion about one's role in the world, desire to escape, travel or recluse while on reconsiders. Neptune over Moon, a visionary, drug-sensitive, spiritual time where the individual experiences the dissolving of emotional response. Time out from the world. Neptune over Mercury, awakening to the metaphysical, art, poetry, spiritual ideas, daydreaming, inability to carry on with study, loss of paperwork, disconnecting from the world. Neptune over Venus, illusions in love relationships, romantic love which may be wonderful or may leave the individual to deal with cold realities after the contact has finished. Confusion in financial matters. Neptune over Mars, loss of motivation, energy draining away, loss of libido, normal focus, energy becoming unfocused. Neptune over Jupiter, idealism, seeking a teacher, a guru that has an answer to everything. No, there is no guru like this. Neptune over Saturn, it's blocking of intuition, delay in using your imagination and your instinct. Neptune over Neptune is not possible. It's possible only if you live at least 165 years. So they will never happen in this world. Neptune over Pluto, it's a large generational combination which should not be applied to a personal level, as a few million other people will be having the same combination at the same time. Neptune over North Node, finding one spiritual path, finding a group or tribe with a basis in the arts, healing, drug abuse, the metaphysical which propel one into a new life direction. Neptune over South Node, loss in the tribe or an old wise woman, a restructuring within the tribe of the spiritual leader or the visionary one in the family, meeting a person from the past with whom you feel a spiritual connection. Neptune over Ascendant, dissolving the image that a person presents to the world, change of personality, as seen from outside. These changes can be a trigger for despair or through the escapism. Neptune over Descendant, dissolving relationships, loss, separation, new type of relationship needs. Neptune over Midheaven, letting go of a career drive, loss of social status, redirecting social status into a more Neptunian field. Neptune over Imum Coeli, confusion about one's role in the family, moving from the house in a way that brings lots of family, relatives or close friends, moving to another country, moving from the city to the country, or vice versa. Also events concerning the grandmother's role in the family. When it's about Pluto, Pluto means transformation through the deep emotional reactions. It's like a storm, but inner storm. Because Pluto takes time, many years, 248 years, to reach the same sign as you have been birthed. It means that you will never meet your Pluto return in your chart. Only if you live 248 years, that it's impossible. In predictive astrology, it's used because of its ability to make transits to a chart and receive progressions. The change is coming with intense feelings that cannot be rationalized away or forgotten. But also this transit can also bring an unexpected success if the person is dealing with a group of people. However, there will still be emotionally changes, events in the private life. So let's see how Pluto it influences the planets in a natal chart. Pluto over Sun, a threat to the sense of self, life-changing. Pluto over Moon, emotional distress, issues with mother or mothering, issues with groups of women, stress on the emotional bonds that bind lovers or family together. Pluto over Mercury, obsession with an idea, tunnel vision, putting all your energy into a project. Pluto over Venus, intense, fated connections with intimate relationship, forming a relationship which is bigger than the two of you. The sudden and emotionally packed ending of a relationship, matters involving large sums of money. Pluto over Mars, anger and possible violence, large projects that take a great deal of energy. Pluto over Jupiter, desire for greater power, a greater field of influence. This combination is often not that conscious and would be considered secondary to other major contracts. Pluto over Saturn, Pluto over Uranus, and Pluto over Neptune, they are big transits, but with a great impact to the generations. Pluto over North Node, meeting a group with which you feel very connected, very deep emotionally connected. Pluto over South Node, intense emotionally change to your family or tribe, meeting something or someone from your past that strongly affects you. Pluto over Ascendant, change by emotional events. The body, the name, and the way in which you present yourself to the world can all be altered via a turbulent emotional period. Pluto over Descendant, emotional restriction of personal or business relationships, emotionally charged court cases. When young, this transit can also be a change to the parents' relationship. Pluto over Midheaven, the dramatic rearranging of career or social status, the sudden claim of fame, or the emotional shock of an unwanted redefinition. Pluto over Ibum Coeli, strong emotional events concerning home and family, issues with mother figure, changing of the tribe by birth or death, moving the home in such a way that there is no going back. So in short, this is about outer planets in predictive astrology. So try to look in your natal chart and see the transits of these planets, outer planets, over your natal chart. And you can comment below. I wish you all the best. Bye bye.